Hello, I'm here with Dr. Amy Orlin, and we're here to discuss FELV cats at FurKids Shelter. Can you please explain what feline leukemia is and how it affects a cat's quality of life?
Sure. Feline leukemia is a virus. It's a retrovirus specifically, and it is something that is contagious between cats. And how it affects their life sort of depends on the cat, because it can take different pathways in different cats. Some cats can be just carriers of the virus and not ever get sick from it. Other cats can get very sick from it and actually die quickly from it. And others kind of can have it linger a little bit in their lives. So it's not a one-size-fits-all type virus.
Mm-hmm. How is FELV spread?
It can be spread through any body secretion, so it can be spread through saliva or urine or feces. And so what you have to do when you have a cat that has FELV and it's exposed to other cats is you have to be sure that, first of all, the other cats are protected with a vaccine. And then you also have to try, if possible, to limit the interaction between other cats and the, let's say, body secretions of the infected cat. So different water bowls, different food bowls, different litter boxes, that kind of thing.
Got it. And can humans and dogs be infected?
They cannot. There is no, at this time, there is no cross-species infection that we know of.
Great. Can an FELV cat live a full and happy life?
Going back to sort of one of your earlier questions, depending on how severely they're infected or how their body handles the virus, yeah, they can live a full life, good quality life. But what you have to understand is that the feline leukemia virus does immunosuppress their systems, their bodies, and so they're more susceptible to other illnesses. So you have to be a little bit more vigilant about, let's say, keeping them indoors so that they're not out getting cat fights with other cats or getting exposed to other illnesses. And the first time that you see them not doing well, you should immediately have them checked out by the veterinarian.
There's no wait 24 hours.
No.
It's immediate.
Yeah, because their system is already suppressed, and so you want to help them support it as quickly as possible.
What kind of extra care does a cat with FELV need? Are there types of complications? Is there a special diet? Is there medications? What type of doctor visits are they going to need and how often?
So feline leukemia is, even though it's a virus, it isn't a disease itself. In other words, a cat with feline leukemia can have kidney disease, or can have cancer, or can have infections. And so feline leukemia just defines the virus, but it doesn't define how it's going to affect everybody. And so because they're immune suppressed or immune compromised, they could get sick easier than other cats. And what kind of sickness they get sort of depends on what they're exposed to.
Got it.
So, so the best thing to do is to keep them indoors. There's not a special diet unless they have a special disease. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, so you have to really kind of treat everyone with the symptoms, for the symptoms that they have individually. So it's not an across-the-board treatment for feline leukemia or FELV cats.
It's very tailored to one.
Yeah. And so cats can live, a good quality life, and they do. We have cats here at FurKids that have feline leukemia and live for years and are very happy and healthy, and don't show any symptoms at all. But you just never know what's around the corner with them, so you have to be a little bit more careful with them. Yeah.
So what is the ideal home for a cat with FELV? So we already mentioned them staying inside, but is there anything else?
That's probably the biggest thing. You can have other cats that live with FELV positive cats as long as they're vaccinated against feline leukemia. The vaccine isn't a 100% kind of vaccine, just like there is no vaccine.
It's kind of like an extra protection.
Absolutely. And so if you're going to have cats together, if you have some that don't have feline leukemia and some that do, just make sure that the the ones that don't have leukemia are as well protected as possible so that they're vaccinated. Other than that, just great husbandry and good care, just like you would with any other cats would be good.
How does FIV get transmitted in cats and kittens? Can it be genetic?
So FIV is also a viral disease, and it can be transmitted from moms to babies. The good news is that oftentimes when it is transmitted from a mom to a baby, the baby will actually seroconvert and become negative as it gets older. So just because it's born with FIV doesn't mean that it's going to stay positive for FIV for its lifetime. So that's the good thing. FIV, though, in general, is more commonly transmitted by bite wounds. So if you see the big, tough male cats that wander outside and get in fights, those are the ones that more commonly will transmit FIV to other cats that they get in fights with. So it's more through deep bite wounds than it is through anything else.
Can FIV negative cats live alongside FIV positive cats?
They can, and this kind of goes back a little bit to the question that you just asked, that we just talked about. As long as they get along well and they don't fight with one another, they absolutely can get along together and live without transmitting their disease one to another. There used to be a vaccine for FIV, but it has kind of fallen out of favor. People don't use that so much. It actually was a little confusing because if you did a test for FIV in cats that had been vaccinated, they would show positive, which made it look like they were actually infected with FIV when in fact they were immune to it because of the vaccine. So that vaccine isn't used so much anymore. So we don't really, differently from FELV, we don't really recommend FIV vaccines in cats that are living with an FIV positive cat. So as long as they get along well and they don't fight, it should be perfectly fine.
Do FIV positive cats require special medical attention or care? If so, what kind?
They don't require special attention specifically, but once again, they are immune compromised, so their immune systems are not as strong as other cats. So we recommend that they stay inside, and we also recommend that at the first sign of illness, you have them checked out by your veterinarian. But they can live very long, healthy, happy lives.
Can humans and other species unrelated to cats get FIV?
They do not. It's not a cross-species contamination.
Does FurKids provide extra health care to FIV positive cats?
Yes, we do. If someone adopts a cat that has FELV or FIV, then they get a lifetime of medical care for symptoms or problems that would be associated with that virus. Now, that doesn't cover if that cat went out and got in a fight with another cat and got an abscess or got sick from that, because that has nothing to do with their FELV or FIV status. But we do cover the health care of anything that might be associated with those viruses.